What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This video we're going to be looking at the Mojo 84 wireless mechanical gaming keyboard from Melgeek. So disclaimer, they did send this to the show to review, but they have not reviewed this content, so this is my unbiased review of the Melgeek Mojo 84 mechanical keyboard, which I am actually super stoked to get my hands on and look at. This has like popped up in my feed. I do follow Melgeek, and I kind of been salivating on some of their keyboards and stuff. So when they went ahead and decided to collab with me, I was very elated. But I have never owned a Melgeek product before. This is the first one, so this is going to be my introduction as well as your introduction, maybe, to the Melgeek brand. So this is the Wasteland edition, so they have themes for their keyboards. So you can go look at different Mojo 84 keyboards and see the theme. This is the Wasteland edition, which I thought was very Cyberpunk kind of looking, and it's going to fit my theme for my desk setup that I'm actually working on. So let's go ahead and take a look at the box. As you can see here, it says this is plastic. So that's, I wouldn't lead with that. I mean, generally you think it's plastic because keyboard, it could be a little chintzy. So, but they're proud of it, and they can say, hey, this is plastic, but it's also a very top quality keyboard. So some specs on the back says have a good typing day. Again, we've already mentioned it. It has a 4,000 milliamp built-in battery. So if you didn't run this as a wired keyboard, right, you can get 4,000 milliamps once you've charged this up and run it as either a 2.4 gigahertz, with an adapter basically that's going to plug into your computer, or Bluetooth. It does support Bluetooth 5.1. We'll get into that here in a minute. So it does boast a 4,000 milliamp internal key battery for it. The material is a Case PC Keycaps ABS. It is compatible with all sorts, basically everything. All right, you can run this on Windows, Mac OS, iOS, iPad OS, Linux, Android, yeah, you name it. And so it works across the board. Let's see, I think that's about all you're going to get out of the back. A lot of this is in Chinese. Again, it has a 2.4 gig option. It also has a Bluetooth option. It also has wired option. And we'll get into which one is best and why. Type-C plug, right? So your interface is a USB Type-C and a Bluetooth or 2.4 gig as mentioned. Backlight keys, these are RGB LEDs. What's cool is every key has an LED. So the combination of setting up and your lighting effects for your backlight are endless, right? And we're talking, these LGBs have like 16 million colors combination. So you can make this unique with the backlighting with no problem whatsoever. The weight is 950 grams. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to convert that to pounds. And that's about it, right? So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and figure out how to get into it. Looks like it's going to slide out of a plastic piece. Get that there. And looks like we've got a couple seals. So I wanted you to be a part of the unboxing experience because this is the first Melgeek unboxing for me as well. So far, pretty happy. Looks pretty good. Pop this open. Beautiful keyboard. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's plastic, but it's thick plastic. It doesn't feel chintzy at all. Get some instruction manuals. You get some your USB-C connectors if you want to do this wired. Ooh, matches the keyboard. Very, very nice. It does not have an angled cable. Some people that like those angles. Oh, maybe this is an adapter. Let's see. Some of these are. No, this is not an adapter. I think this is your 2.4 gig. It sticks to the theme though. I kind of like that. And then this should be like your key removal, your switch removal. Yep. So this is hot swappable. There's something else in here. I don't want to lose it. Let's get it out. So I do recycle all my packaging, so try not to. Oh, okay. Get some keys in case you wanted a smaller space bar. And again, this is going to adapt to whatever OS. So that's what this is. It's one of these, a Windows key, Command, Opt. So there's your Mac setups. So yeah, depending on what OS you want to use it on. All right, that is everything in the box. Let's toss that aside. So again, space. Hopefully you can see that. No fake. Command, Alt, Opt. So right now I think it's set up Windows. Function. Very, very neat. Very, very nice. Woo! Alright, let's take a look at the actual keyboard itself. Very, very nice keyboard. Let's go ahead and get some of the protective packaging off. So this is going to come very, very protected. I like it. So one thing that they're going to boast with this technology here is that they use a gasket type setup here, which means you're going to get a very comfortable typing experience, and it's not going to be super loud. So if you're into the super clicky, their keyboards don't, I mean, you get some, but they're not annoyingly clicky. See? It's beautiful. It sounds very, very high quality, actually. Alright, some features of this keyboard. Doesn't that look pretty? Look at that. That's gorgeous. And it is transparent. So you can see. You can see it says plastic here. Burger, work, booger, work, Melgeek. So, very, very nice. And it kind of like the Cyberpunk, like this is plastic, no photo, logo, not for resale. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's talk about the polling rate. Let's talk about some specs and features. We've looked at it, we've unboxed it. Let's talk a little bit about its features. It has a 1000 hertz polling rate running wired or on the 2.4 gigahertz wireless, right? So if you're going to use these two, you're going to get 1000 hertz polling rate. Okay, that's probably optimal if you've got a high refresh rate monitor. If you're using this for gaming and your monitor's 4K or 120 hertz or whatever fast refresh rate, then you're probably going to want to use this as a wired or wireless and not do the Bluetooth. Great. So it does support Bluetooth 5.1. But your polling rate is going to drop from 1000 hertz to 125 hertz, which means that your maximum latency is 8 milliseconds. That's worst case, okay? But you could get up to 8 milliseconds latency. Now that doesn't sound like a lot. 8 milliseconds, whoop, like that was 8 mil. That was probably more than 8 milliseconds, right? So, but with wired and the 2.4 gig, it's basically like 1 millisecond. So you can see. You don't think it makes a big difference, but it does. All right. Basically, also I mentioned it's got a 4,000 milliamp battery inside. So basically, you're going to get 240 hours. That's with no LEDs on, no backlight, right? So it's going to vary based on your usage of your backlight. Right? Obviously, if you use a lot of all LEDs on, full brightness, you're going to take that down. So plan on at least 240 hours. With no backlight. Okay, you can also do programmable custom settings for your keys. So basically, you can go in and do all sorts of different programming of your keys, what you want them to do. I mentioned they have hot swap keycaps. So what's that mean? That means you could use these keycaps, and they provide you with this little tool. You could basically use other switches on this bad boy, which is, you know, that's kind of cool, right? Let's just take off the Alt key. Oops. Sometimes these are hard to do behind a camera. There we go. All right. So I just took the Alt key off, right? But I can replace this switch. This switch right here. So if I wanted to, now again, I took off that Alt key, so if I wanted to convert this more to maybe a Mac, I could do that. And you can basically see what these switches look like in here, right? So, you know, the hot swap keycaps, kind of cool. You can customize this even more. If you want to be able to go all in, you can connect this up to 8 devices. Now, is that overkill? Yes, I think that's overkill. But if you had a ton of devices you wanted to use this with, maybe you wanted to use it mobile, get a little carry case, take this on the go with you, use it with an iPad, use it with an Android, use it whatever, it'll remember 8 devices. All right. Obviously, you're only going to wire it to one, and you're only going to 2.4 gig it to one. Okay. So there's your limitation there. But those can be in the mix. You could have one wired, one 2.4, and everything else Bluetooth, up to 8. 84 keys, basically, and it's an ANSI layout. All right. So if you're wondering how many keys, if you're artistic and you already counted them, congratulations. If you got to 84, you were right. So 84 keys, ANSI layout. Very easy. I already mentioned the backlight. Each key has its own LED. 16 million color combinations available. The keycap profile is original MDA. All right. So what's that mean? So MDA is kind of a new and up-and-coming keyboard style. You've heard of like Cherry. You've heard of all sorts of different keycap styles, but this is the MDA. So what that means is it's a low-profile keycap with a uniform height and their slightly sculpted design. And it's kind of I want to say it's kind of a mix between a Cherry and an XDA profile. And I think there's a couple of really nice comparisons online you could look up and see the difference of how the keys are kind of angled and sculpted and how it compares to all the different keycap profiles that are out there, right? So I already mentioned it's an MX switch, so the standard Cherry like MX switches, so that's no big deal. The in-key rollover support, it does support that. So what's that mean? That means that the keyboard is responsible for scanning the button presses, right? Not the PC, which is very less reliable. So basically, if I sit here and do this, the keyboard is going to remember I typed all those keys. Now, how many keys you can push all at once and it'll know? I don't know. It didn't list, and I haven't tested that. But sometimes you just come here and you be like, boom. You try to see how many of those keys it remembered and put on there. And so that's a good test if you ever want to do that. So that's the in-key rollover that the keyboard would support. If this was a PC that was monitoring the pushes, then you're going to miss stuff, right? So just want to elaborate that. And that is the specs and stuff for this keyboard. Again, just a beautiful design. So what we're going to do is I'm going to shut up. I'm going to put the camera a little bit lower. We're going to do some backlighting. We're going to hook it up to, I don't know. We'll see what we can bring out here. So we're going to pause this video, get this bad boy all set up, and we're going to test that key thing, right? We're going to see how many it can remember. And then we're going to listen to the tactile feedback and how it all plays out and get some good footage and some good sound. So you want to hear how this keyboard sounds. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. So we've got the backlighting on. We just decided to compare it to pair it to the iPad OS. As you can see here, I've got just a standard backlighting. I can change the color. I can do function C. You can see that I've got different color combinations that I can go through. I've got different modes I can go through. Brightness levels. So I can tear it down. I can bring it up. So that's kind of a nice thing. You can also do different modes by this. So that's kind of a breathing mode. That's like if I type in and it's got a little splash mode or implosion out. If you can see that, just kind of, if I hit a key, it kind of just goes out. So there's different modes, and then there's like off. Here's the breathing mode. This is just kind of rotating colors. And then we're just back to standard. Now, as you can see here, I was keying on my iPad, so I'll erase that. We talked about the in-key rollover. So let's just hit, I'm going to use 4 fingers, and we're just going to hit 4 keys at the same time. We're just going to do T, Y, U, I, and we'll see if all 4 register or if they register in what order. Ready? Boom. TIUY. So TIUY. Interesting. The T registered first. That's down to the millisecond, though. I mean, so I could have pushed that in that order, or that's how the keyboard responded from basically the key press, right? So can you do more? Let's see. Let's do 2 keys. ADFSJH. So I did 8 and it got 7. ADFSJH. So there you go. Looks like it can remember maybe up to 7 keys pushed at the exact same time. Let the in key roll over. So that's, that's good. Not bad. Now, I wanted to give you a demo of the typing, the sound. So let's go ahead. You're going to come on a little journey as we dismount the camera. I'm putting you right down here and you're going to hear me typing. Here we go. That's pretty nice. I like it. Nice little look at the keys from this angle. That is a beautiful looking keyboard. This is nice quality keyboard from Melgeek. If you liked the video, guys, give it a thumbs up. There, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. Go check out the link in the show notes for this bad boy and all the other kick-butt keyboards Melgeek has to offer. I am a fan. This is a beautiful, well-designed, greatly functional keyboard that is going on my setup. Again, like, share, subscribe, and as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.